Yeah. There we go, that looks good. Oh, brilliant. So let's get cracking then. And other people can come and join us as they want to and as they need to. So let's come in to sit. So as we come in to sit, letting the backs of the hands rest onto the knees, the palms facing upwards as the head extends up. And we're just going to have a couple of breaths in and out just to take in everything going on around us. Inhalation, exhalation. So whether we're at home, whether we're indoors, whether we're outdoors, let the backs of the hands rest on to the knees and really come into the space in the palm, into that space into the center of the palm. And feel that this space can really soften. So rather than when we come into a position like this and we sit and we're like that and we feel sort of forced, let this soften. So that there's a doming in the palm, and then from this doming in the palm, we can come back to the doming of the arch, we can come back to the diaphragms in the body. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for the diaphragm of the hand, breathing in and breathing out. And then noticing how it feels in the hips to sit. If anything feels a little bit tight, what do we need to do to let go of that? Can we relax the thighs a little bit more? Can we soften into the shins so it all feeds back into the hips? And where is the base on the ground? Do we need to adjust? Do we need to come in and plant ourselves so that the tail can release down into the ground, giving us this lift up through the belly? So bringing the awareness into the breath, into the inhalation and the exhalation. Just being with that for a moment to really let ourselves arrive on the mat. However we've slept, whether we've slept crooked, whether we've slept well, however it is. Now gently let the chin come down towards the chest. So you're lengthening through the back of the head. And if the shoulders are feeling a little bit tight, you might feel that either side of your shoulder blades. And then the next time you breathe in, come up through the crown of the head, really feeling like you're lifting up and up and up. And then the next time you take a breath in, turn the head to the right. But so you feel that you can open the left side of the neck, but you're not owling the head around. Once the left shoulder wants to start to move, rein it in. And then the next time you breathe out, bring the head back to the center. Next time you breathe in, bring the head over to the left. And again, once you feel that the rest of the body wants to come into that movement, it's gone too far, so just bring it in a little bit. And then come back to the center. Let the chin come back down to the chest. So you can feel from the base of the skull deep to the inside of the shoulder blade. And now roll the chin around towards the right shoulder. And let it come around and down and over towards the left shoulder. Very slowly from side to side. So becoming more and more aware of the head and the neck so that when we move, know, we don't push back through the neck in the same way that we might push back through the lumbar. There's a very similar curve there in the spine. And then let the chin come back down towards the chest. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. Feel free to keep the eyes closed or let them open if you want to. Let's take a breath in, bring the arms up and around above the head. As you breathe out, bring the hands forward and down onto the ground. Go back into the little toes. Feel the sides of the feet really come into the ground, so that brings you back into the hips. Up you come through the side, lifting up and up. Let's do that again. Breath comes in, the arms come up. Lifting the ribs off of the hips, breathing out and coming forward with the side. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Once more, up you come up through the crown of the head. Breath comes in, the arms come up. Good, into the little toes. Breathe out and we come forward, letting the breath come in and the breath go out. Now, can we come over the knees or we bring ourselves into all fours, however it works best for you. Oh, I've got a real bump underneath there. And come back into child's pose, breathing in and breathing out. And now come back up into all fours. And as you come up into all fours, we turn this around at an angle so we can all see a little bit better. As we come into all fours, we're going to come forward and back, forward and back. So we've been doing quite a lot of this movement in our practice because it connects all the chakras. But be mindful as you're going over your knees. If it feels uncomfortable on the kneecaps, pop a little pleat into the mat. Yep. If it feels uncomfortable in the kneecaps, pop a pleat into the mat so that you've got a bit more cushioning. So you're coming backwards and forwards, finding the connection from the tail up into the crown of the head, coming all through the chakras. And you can make that move faster or slower. But as you're doing it as well, be mindful of how you're moving in your lower spine, your lumbar spine. And then the next time that you come back, curl the toes under, walk the hands back, roll over the balls to bring you into squat pose. And as you come into squat pose now, can the tail really release down into the ground? Good. Bring the fingertips onto the ground, send the heels into the ground, lift the thighs up and up and up into the hip sockets. So the backs of the knees can stay open, they can stay relaxed. Breath comes in and the arms come up. Good. Bring the thumbs onto the crown of the head, lift up through the heart, go down through the tail. Let the tail release down and down to the ground. That's going to start bringing you into your back bend. Take a step forward with the right foot, lengthen up through the arms, stand strong in the feet, but relax the kneecaps. Let the tail go down towards the ground. Good. Breathe out. Let the hands come on to the sacrum. So we do this a lot as we're coming into our practice because it brings us into the hips to get the hips to roll over the thighs rather than pushing back through the spine. Breath comes in and the arms come up. Good. Brings the hands together in Namaste. Come up now with the left knee. Yep, so as though you were going to come into tree pose, okay? And watch how we're using the knee. Are we bringing the foot right up and squeezing the hip? Can we feel that there is length and space through the thigh? Bring the foot down to the ground. Good, up we come through the arms. So you can recognize that movement from your walking. Yeah, that's what we do when we walk. Come forward with the chest, forward with the heart. So our movements come as natural as possible in line with our day-to-day business. Breath comes in and the arms come up, strong into the feet, lifting you up and up and up through the rib cage. Good. Bring the hands together in Namaste. And as you come up now, lift the right knee, but you're still feeling that connection back through and into the hip socket. Bring the foot down to the ground. So it's just like an exaggerated walk and come to the front of the mat. Let's start with Surya Namaskar. Let the breath come in and the arms come up. Breathe out, release down. Bend the knees. Let the knees bend, but as you're bending the knees, be mindful where the hips are going. So we don't want the hips to kind of push back. Feel that you can walk perhaps a little bit more forward with the fingertips so it even looks more like a little dog. Bring the hands back now as you step back with the left foot to bring you into lunge pose. Good. Bring the knee down to the ground, round the spine. Bring the arms forward. Come up through the chest, through the heart. Go down through the tailbone and open outwards. Feel the heat of the sun on the chest. Hands come down onto the ground. Sweep back into downward dog pose. Breath comes in and out. In dog this morning, really spread through the ball of the foot. So you're not pushed on the toes, you're on the ball of the foot. Bend the knees and come back into child's pose. Rest the spine. Can you let the front of the foot really relax into the ground? Come forward with the hands now. Round the spine up into cat pose and bring the chest and the heart forward, forward, forward. Relax the feet. Breathing in and breathing out. Curl the toes under. Roll over the balls of the feet. Breathing in and breathing out. And as you roll over the balls, where has that brought you in the hips? Bend the knees, come down into all fours, come forward now with the left foot. Round the spine, send the tail down, come up through the chest, through the heart. Open outwards, good. Bring the hands forward, come into your forward bend now. And again, relax the knees, bring the spine forward. We want to bring the body into the present, yeah? If we're hovering back behind here, we're half stuck in the past. So send everything forward. Take a breath in, up you come with the arms, lift up through the chest, through the heart. Use the heels into the ground to give you this connection up into the hips. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Breath comes in and the arms come up. Breathe out, release down. Step back with the right foot. Right knee comes down to the ground, round the spine, bring the arms forward. Open the body, up through the chest, up through the heart. Good, hands come forward. Curl the back toes under, step back into downward dog pose. Stay in dog for a moment. Let one heel go down, one heel go up. So you feel the length through the back of the calf. But then you begin to again remind yourself the contact from the heel into the bottom of the hips. And then let the knees bend, come back into child's pose. Breathe. Send the hands forward, round the spine into cat pose. Come up through the chest, through the heart. Open the heart. What do you need to do with the hands to support your rib cage? Can you go into your little fingers, into your thumbs a little bit more, softening the elbow? Curl the toes under, come up through the feet into downward dog pose. Breathing in and out. Let the knees bend, come down into all fours and come forward with the right foot. Round the spine, tails releasing down to give you that length through the lumbar, up through the arms. Good, out through the fingers. Hands come forward, curl the back toes under, spring into your forward bend. Let the breath come in and the arms come up. Good, and the hands come together in Namaste. Once more, up through the arms. Good. Relax the elbows a little bit so you feel the arms come into the shoulders and that broadens you out through the shoulders. Breathe out, pelvis comes over the thighs, brings you into forward bend. Big step back with the left foot. Good, left knee comes down. Stay with rounding the spine, bring the arms forward because we want to really shift the upper spine this morning. Come up through the chest, through the heart. As you bring the hands down, either side of the right foot, curl the back toes under. If you want to extend up through the right leg, feel free to. But the same standing into the left foot, bring that into the right foot. So even though the right foot's in the air, it's not just kind of dangling there. There is a strength there. Bring the foot down to the ground, bend the knees. Come back into child's pose. Breathing in and breathing out. Send the hands forward, round the spine into cat pose. Bring the chest and the heart forward into cobra. Good. Feel the big toes on the ground. And that connection up through the thighs into the pelvis. Curl the toes under, roll over the feet into down dog. Now, relax your elbows here in the same as you did when we were in standing, so your shoulder blades can move more. Come up with your left leg or come into all fours. As you bend your knee into your chest, bring the spine forward and plant the foot between the hands, so it makes it easier for the whole body to move. That knee comes down round the spine. Come up through the chest, through the heart, open. Good. Hands come forward, into forward bend. Big deep breath in, up we come through the spine. Good. Hands come together in Namaste. So we're going to have another round, but with less instruction, so there's less disruption. Breathe out, Uttanasana. Step back into lunge pose. Knee comes down, round spine. Up you go. Good. Hands forward, sweeps up into three-leg bird. Foot down, knees bend into child. Bring the hands forward into cobra. Curl the toes under, up into dog. Left leg up, knee forward into lunge. Back knee down, down the spine. Up you come. Good. Hands forward, into forward bend. Breath in and the arms come up. Hands together. Good. In silence now. Stand into Tadasana for a moment. Notice the effect of the postures on the body. Breath comes in and out. Let's take a big step back with the left foot now, bringing us into lunge pose. Yep. So into sort of, well, actually into a very long warrior one more than anything. Come up through the arms. As you're coming up through the arms, notice the effect on the lower back. Yeah. Do we need to come up through the heel to give us that lift up into the front of the hips? Good. And then let the heel come down. Maybe even let it come inwards a little bit. Not a huge amount. Keep the front knee coming forward. Breathe out. Bring the spine forward. If you feel you want to keep your back heel lifted as you come down, then do that. Breath comes in and out. Lift up through the back heel again. Sends the spine forward, really roots you down into the front heel. Step forward into your forward bend. Breath comes in and the arms come up. Brings the hands together in Namaste. Step back now with the right foot. Good. Come back as far as you feel you can, bringing the foot into the ground, yeah? And notice how it feels on the lumbar spine. How does it feel to come up through the heel? Good. To bring the heel in a little bit. Does that open you more through the spine? Where does that heel need to go for you in your practice, yeah? And then come up with the arms. The knee comes forward. Good. Breathing in and out. So we really need to start connecting into here so we're not pushed down into the lumbar. Good. Breathe out. Bring the spine forward as you come down. So you start to find the space, but you're deeply rooted now in this front foot. Step forward into your forward bend. Take a breath in. As you come up with your arms now, bring them up above. Bend the knees and come down into chair pose. So the knees are coming forward, the tail is releasing down. There is a conscious movement down through here. So if you've got a cross or a diamond on your leggings, it's shining straight down to the ground. That's where we're after with the pelvis. Good. Breathing in and breathing out. Now try to relax the feet and the thighs as much as possible. Easier said than done in chair pose. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Gather the thighs up into the hips. Good. Come up now with the right knee. Good. Get some movement into the foot, into the ankle, freeing it up if we've been a bit strong in the foot. Good. Bring the foot down to the ground. Come up now with the left foot. Good. So the balance is good this morning. Brilliant. Keep the left knee lifted. Bend the right knee. Bring the ankle to where the left knee and thigh meet. Breathing in and breathing out. And come down as far as it feels comfortable for you. But as you're coming down, use the heel of the standing foot and the ball of the standing foot. Come up with the thigh. Open out through the knee. Come back into Warrior Two pose. Go out through the arms. Good. Breath comes in and out. Standing in Warrior Two. Kneecap in line with the two middle toes. Thigh comes back into the hip socket. Opens us outwards. Good. So there's a strong support coming into the hips. Relax the buttocks now. Good. Because your legs have got this. Back arm comes onto the back thigh and open upwards, upwards. Let the tail release down to the ground. So there's no push in the lumbar. Come back into Warrior Two. Bring the gaze across the fingertips. Good. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Let the thumbs come onto the chest, onto the heart. Good. Come back down now through the arms, pointing the fingers down, coming up through the arms as though you're opening your wingspan. So there's more softness there. Good. Bring the elbow, bending, bringing the lower arm onto the upper thigh, coming up and over, strong into the feet. Breathing in and breathing out. Finding again that connection from the little toe side of the foot into the fingers. Lift up through the back heel, pivot on the ball of the foot. Left hand down to the ground, right arm opens upwards. Keep the left heel lifted up. Good. Breath coming in and out. Bring the right hand back down to the ground. So you come back into lunge pose. Bring the left heel in. Stand down into the right heel. Come back up into Warrior Two. Gaze across the front fingertips. Back arm onto back thigh. Opens you up through the spine. Good. As you breathe out this time, bring the fingertips down to the inside of the right foot. Extend upwards through the arm. Rotate the palm so it faces. Good. So the palm's going to face over towards the left. Good. So that opens the shoulder. Lovely. And then again, lift up through the heel. Brings the left hand down to the ground. Come back up with the right arm. Keep using the right heel in the ground to connect you back into the hip socket and to relax the glutes. Bring the right hand down to the ground. Bring the spine back to the center. Let the left knee come down. Fingertips are light on the ground. You're going to extend away through the right foot, but keep the left knee underneath the hip. Extend away through the right foot. Here's where we use the toes. Yeah. Watch how you're using the knee. Don't push back and jam the knee. So with the toes, if you flex the toes as though you're trying to bring them back to the shin, that's going to really open the back of the leg. Yep. So you don't need to overextend here to get that movement in. Now bring the knee onto the ground, bring the foot more onto the ground and come forward. So now you can feel the length through here and lift up through the heart so you're not condensed into the lumbar. Good. Keep the hands onto the ground, extend all the way back through the right foot, all the way back. So the big toe is going to come onto the ground. Let the big toe come onto the ground, rest in and up through the heel. Let the left lower leg come out a little bit. So it's like a stabilizer on a bike. Bring the inside of the right foot down to the ground and come up with the right arm. Now bring the whole of the right foot onto the ground. Good. Breath comes in and out. Good. Now, bring the right knee back down to the ground and let the lower left leg come in. Sweep the right hand through the space on the left, rest into the upper arm. So really looking at that spiral from one hip into the opposite shoulder. Up we come. Curl the toes under, come back into squat pose. Good. Where are you in the ball of the foot? Don't put too much pressure through the toes. Feel that you can spread in the ball of the foot. And does that help releasing the pelvic floor? Bring the fingertips down to the ground. Send the heels into the ground. Lift the thighs up into the hips. Takes a breath in, up you come. Bring the thumbs onto the crown of the head, but relax the elbows. Walk forward. As you're walking forward, keep the lift up through the crown of the head, like you're in one of those old school deportment classes. I think it's called deportment. Good. Come up through the arms, lengthening the ribs off of the hips. Bring the hands down, thumbs onto the chest, onto the heart. Good. Bend the knees a little bit more. Come up now with the right knee, really rooted through the left foot. Right ankle comes over onto the left knee and thigh. Come down a little bit more. So we begin to open through the hips and through the pelvis. Breath coming in and out. Keep the breastbone lifted. Breathe. Good. Come out through the leg, opens the hip. Extend you back into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana. Come out through the arms. Good. And again, deeply rooted into here. Brings a completely different feeling through into here when you're using the feet. Good. Back arm comes onto back thigh, lifts you up. Tail drops down, glutes relaxed. Thinking about opening. Come back into Warrior Two. Gaze across the front fingertips. Good. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Let the thumbs come onto the chest, onto the heart. Really stand strong in the feet. Good. Now open way again through the arms. Think of a wingspan. Good. Relax your shoulders. Let the lower arm come onto the upper thigh, come up and over. So again, thinking of connections in the body. Little finger to the little toe, where does it bring you? Come up through the spine, back into Warrior Two. Then let's the back arm come onto the back thigh. Relax the glutes. Let all of the muscles relax. Good. As you breathe out, comes back down. Let the left hand come down. Let the right hand come down. Lift the back heel to spiral around. Come up through the left arm. Keep the left heel lifted. Sorry, right heel lifted. Begging my pardon. Standing strong into the left foot. Bring the left hand down to the ground. Rotate the right foot back in. Come up through the arms, strong in the feet to bring you back into Warrior Two pose. Breathing in, breathing out. So there's a sense of calmness in the Warrior Two. Up through the left arm. Breathe out. Brings the left hand down to the inside of the left foot and come up through the right arm. Breathing in and breathing out. Lift up through the right heel, bring the right hand down onto the ground, come up again through the left arm. So that connection through the hips and into the shoulders, beautiful. Bring the left hand down to the ground, let the right knee come down. Light on the fingertips, extend you away through the left heel, and then this little bit of work with the toes. Yeah, so you're opening the plantar fascia, the sole of the foot. You can give the toes even a little wiggle to get some movement in there, and then come forward and down with the foot, really extending you through the thigh. Keep the breastbone nice and lifted as it comes forward. Curl the back toes under now and step back into downward dog pose. So we've got to come up and extend back. If you've got a sticky mat, you might notice, you know, how the feet sit. Come back down into all fours and then go away through the left big toe, extending the leg. Keep the tip of the big toe on the ground. Let the right lower leg come out to the side like your little stabilizer. Go down into the inside of the left foot, into the outside of the left foot, up you come. Breath coming in and out. Soften. As you come around now, let the left hand come through the space on the right. Both knees come down underneath the hips, breathing in and breathing out. Come back up into all fours. Curl the toes under, come back to kneel so you're high on the feet. Yep, back to kneel so you're high on the feet. Bring the thumbs onto the crown of the head and lift upwards. Let the elbows come forward. So we're looking again, we've got this length from here up until here. Come down, lower arms come down onto the ground. Really bend, really plant the little finger side of the arm into the ground and let the elbows come inwards. So at the most, they're as wide as your shoulders. Toes are curled under, go away through the toes, go down into the little fingers and up you come into your elbow dog. Hold it for as long as it's comfortable for you. And if that's a nanosecond, that's perfect. Bend the knees and come back into child's pose. So now a little bit more awareness through the shoulders, yep, into the upper spine. Up we come into all fours, forward with the right foot, forward with the left foot, brings you into forward bend. Let the breath come in and let the arms come up. So now we've got that little bit more awareness through the shoulders. Let's go out through the arms. Good. Brings the left elbow on top of the right. Brings the right hand into the left palm. Lengthen up through the arms. Let the knees come forward. As though you're coming back down into your chair pose. Where are you in the ball of the foot? Yep, where are you in the heel of the foot? That's going to help you open your hips. Left elbows on top. Bring the right leg over. Let the foot come around behind, if it can. If it can't, don't force it, yeah? And then maybe even bend the knees a little bit more. See how it is for you. Breath comes in and out. If you're more familiar with the pose, bring the spine forward. So you're coming down into your swooping eagle. And then that brings you into how you can use the foot a little bit more to lift the spine. Go more into the heel, more into the ball. Up you come through the spine. Good. Unfurl the legs. As you unfurl the legs, bring the right foot straight back. We're going to come into warrior one. Unfurl the arms. Now we've got space in the shoulders. Let them come down. Let the breath come in and the arms come up. Relax the elbows. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Breathe out. Let the arms come down. Breathe in and up. Out and down. Good. So now we start getting movement in the upper spine. In and out. Good. Out and down. In and up. Now come forward with the spine. Use the feet. Forward, 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 forward. Down to the ground. Breath comes in. Strong in the feet. Up through the chest. Up through the heart. Good. Breathe out, come back down. So now we're beginning to perhaps even engage the feet a little bit more. Is there more movement up through the spine as we come up? Good. Breathe out, releases down. Good. As we breathe in and we come up this time, lift up the back heel. And now let the spine come forward. Let the pelvis roll over the thighs, brings you into warrior three. Use both of the feet. So you're still standing back through the right foot. Breath comes in and out. Bring the hands down to the ground. Let the right foot come down. Breath comes in and the arms come up. Good. Brings the hands together in namaste. Go out through the arms. Extend out through the lower arms. Right elbow comes on top of left. Brings the left hand into the right palm. Bend the knees as though you're sitting down into your chair again. So that releases you through the back of the hips. I was going to say left elbow, left leg comes over the right. Good. And you can bring the big toe onto the ground initially to steady you if that helps. And then maybe lift the foot. Take it stage by stage. The more you bend the knees, the more you sit down into the pose. But obviously you've got the trade-off with the knees there if there's anything going on. Come up more through the breastbone
and then bring the spine forward. Breathing in and breathing out. So you can feel how that makes you use the ball of the foot more. And then as you come up with the spine, you start going down more into the heel. Good. Unfurl the legs, bring the foot straight back. Keep the right knee coming forward. Let the arms come down, bring the arms down. Breath comes in, the arms come up. Good. Keep coming back into the feet so you get that lift up into the spine. Breathe in, up you come. Breathe out, down. Good. Now start moving the spine with that. In and up. Good. Come forward, 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 forward. Breath comes in, up and up. Now as you're coming up, lift the breastbone forward. That's going to start bringing you more into your core, more into the top of the psoas. Breathe out. Spine comes forward. Breathe in, spine lifts up and up and up and up. So now we have the length in the spine. Breathe out. Comes forward. Good. Breathe in. As you come up this time, lift the back heel. Good. Come up and over, up and over, up and over, up and over. Breath comes in and out. Good. Bring the fingertips down to the ground. Bring the foot down to the ground. In Uttanasana now. Bend both elbows. Hold the elbows with the opposite arms. Let the spine dangle. Bend the knees as you need to. Breath coming in and out. So as you let the spine dangle and it becomes heavier and heavier, you feel a little bit more length and space in the lumbar spine. And if you're strong in your feet, if you're in your big toe joints, your little toe joints, your inner heels, your outer heels, your thighs are in the right place, you can spread through the back of the sacrum and open through the back of the hips a little more. Nice preparation for pigeon. Bring the hands down to the ground and walk the feet back. If you're feeling really energetic, you can lightly bounce back. Yeah, it depends where you are in your practice. Come up now with the right foot and stand strong in the right foot. Bring the knee forward, plant the knee between the hands and let the left leg extend back. Come into reverse pigeon if you want to, lying on the back and bending the knees. Good. And then from here, bring the lower arms down onto the ground to find some length in the spine. So we're coming into that Sphinx pose in the front of the body. Feel that you can extend the breastbone forward and how that brings you deep into that right hip and creates space in the lumbar. Now bring the hands underneath the shoulders. And as you lift up the spine, keep bringing the breastbone forward. Let the shoulder blades come into the spine. Breathe. So there shouldn't be that pinchy in the lumbar. Now come into the right side of the thigh. So roll over. Good. Begin to bring the left knee up towards the right foot and then let the right knee come around and then let the left knee come up. So you come in to Barbadasana. Good. Bring the fingertips out to the sides. Good. Bring the right hand onto the ground, come into the right hand and come up again. So you're opening through the hips. Now, very often we feel unbalanced when we come back into the pose. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down with the focus on the sitting bones. So let both sitting bones come onto the ground. It doesn't matter if the right knee lifts. Think about getting that balance through the pelvis. Bring the hands onto the knees. Gather the thighs back into the hips, lift the spine. Good. Let the left knee come around, bring yourself to come to sit now. So we're getting more and more open through the base. Breath coming in and out. Good. Come over the knees, curl the toes under, come up into your forward bend, and then walk back, or again, if you're feeling more energetic, like jump back into downward dog pose. Come up now with the left leg. Bend the knee into the chest, knee between the hands, right leg extends back, come down onto the lower arms. Breath coming in and out. And really bring the breastbone forward. Breastbone forward, breastbone forward. As you bring the hands onto the ground,
The breastbone still keeps coming forward as it comes up. Breathing in and breathing out. And now roll over onto the left thigh. Begin to let the foot come forward more. Begin to bring the right thigh up to the left foot. Let the left knee come out more. Right thigh to left foot. So you come in. Doesn't matter if you're a little bit off kilter. Left hand comes into the ground. Come up with both of the hips. Breathing in and breathing out. And then as you come down, your focus is your hips. Both sitting bones come onto the ground. Good. Fingertips come down. Let the right foot come around so you can come in to sit cross-legged. Spread through the base. Bring the backs of the hands onto the knees. How does it feel to sit now? Good. Let the eyes close for a moment. How does sitting feel now compared to how it felt at the start of the class? Ask yourself that in the practice. Bring the hands together in Namaste and rotate the spine so the breastbone comes over to the right knee. So the spine's moving on its own, we're not bringing the arms into it. Rotate the spine so the breastbone comes over to the left. Good. Rotate the spine, breastbone over to the right knee. Good. Rotate the spine, breastbone over to the left knee. Do that a couple of times. Next time you do it, be aware of any movement in the feet, as subtle as it might be, or in the legs. Yeah, because the whole body moves. And then next time you feel balanced and you come back to the center, stay there for a moment. Go out and away through the legs. So you come to sit in your wide leg bend. Let your knees bend. Yeah, for most of us this isn't a position of comfort, but it's a position that we need to practice. Bring the hands onto the knees and extend up through the spine. Relax the shoulders, let the shoulders roll in their softness. And if you feel you need to have a little walk back through the thighs, do that. We're coming back to that cross or the diamond in the leggings. We're wanting to get this to shine down to the ground, yeah? So if we're here and it's kind of shining forward, we want to feel that we can bring the pelvis back so the base comes down towards the ground. That's what we're after here. It's a deep rotation through the thighs. Bring the hands back together in Namaste. Rotate the spine so it comes over to the left. Good. Let the right hand come on to the right shin and come up with the left arm. Good. Now send the right hand away to the right ankle and over you come. Breath comes in and out. Come back up with the spine. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Rotate the spine now so it comes over to the right. Let the left hand come onto the left chin and come up with the right arm. Slide the left hand away. Breathing in and breathing out. So you feel how the top of that left thigh really roots into the ground. Up we come. Let's do that again. Brings the hands together in Namaste. Rotate the spine over to the left. Breastbone and nose in line with the knee. Good. Right hand comes onto the right shin, come up through the left arm and over we go. Breathing in and breathing out. Now, you're really in that right side now. Can you come back more into the left side? Can you try and root that left hip down into the ground? So you're finding a little bit more space in the left hip. Up we come with the arms, brings the hands together in Namaste. Rotate the spine so it comes over to the right. Left hand comes onto the shin, come up with the right arm. Over you go. Breathing in and breathing out. And then again, so we're kind of not coming up and over. Really root that right hip, that right thigh into the ground. It's going to give you a little bit more space here.
But then this time, bring the right hand over to the right ankle and come forward with the breastbone, just like you did in that pigeon pose. Breath coming in and out. And you might find that wants to rotate your pelvis a little bit more. You might even want to come back a little bit more. And bring the hands forward. See how it is. Have a little play with it. Breath coming in and out. Bring the fingertips onto the ground now. Keep this rootedness in the base, but bring the soles of the feet together. So you're coming into Baddha Konasana. Really come into the toes. So you wake up the arches of the feet and bring the hands onto the shins so you keep the length up through the spine, the lightness in the hip joints. Good. Now send the feet forward and out a little bit. So you're going more into a Charlie Chaplin pose. Go out through the arms. As you breathe out, come in like you're giving someone a hug that you haven't seen, that you haven't hugged, and really come forward and then relax the arms onto the legs. Breathe in and out. So you're really open underneath your shoulder blades now and your armpits, through your lower back, and possibly the outer edges of the hamstrings are having a right old sing-song. Up you come through the spine. Yeah. Breathe out, come forward again. So in most forward bends, we're focusing on the middle of the hamstrings. Practicing like this is bringing us into the outer edges of the hamstrings. Breath comes in and out. Come up through the crown of the head. Bring the right foot in, extend the left foot away. Fingertips come out to the side. So start, where is the foot coming into? Because we've opened the hips a little bit more this morning, might be coming in a little bit further. Yeah. Come up with the arms. Think about that movement of the breastbone. Now take hold of the middle of the left arm and ease the left ribs up. Good. Take hold of the middle of the right arm and ease the right ribs up. And then come forward with the spine. Good. Breathing in and breathing out. Feel that you can lift the breastbone forward, even though you're coming down. You're still going forward. Good. Breath comes in and out. And then maybe even come in a little bit more, but without force or push, so you feel that you're opening the back of the spine. Good. Come back up through the spine. Bring the soles of the feet together. Good. Come back into your Baddha Konasana, really feeling the base on the ground. Go away through the right leg, bring the left foot in. And again, up you come through the arms. This time, take hold of the middle of the right arm, ease up and up and up. So you've got this space on the outer edge of the shoulder blade. And then change the hands, come up and up and up. Good. Breathe out, bring the spine forward. Keep all that length in the lumbar as you come forward. Good. Breathe. Nice big deep breaths in and out. Up you come through the crown of the head. Bring yourself to sit cross-legged again. Let the backs of the hands come onto the knees. Let the palms face upwards. Let the breath come in and the breath go out. Hopefully now the hips and the thighs can feel a little bit more rested. As you breathe in and out, can you bring the index finger and thumb together lightly as though they're holding a feather between the two digits? Let the shoulder blades melt. See them as soft object, like 2 knobs of butter on a piece of toast. Yeah? Let them melt, let them soften. Breathing in and breathing out, noticing there how the breath is in the body. Letting the feet support the legs so you can relax the knees now. Letting the breath come in and the breath go out. Let the ears go towards the bird song. So if the mind is busy, we have a focus. We can meditate on. We meditate on breath, we meditate on mantra,
We might meditate on the sound of a gong. We might meditate if the eyes are open on a pattern on a mandala. And now bring the tip of the index finger down to the first knuckle of the thumb. Letting the breath come in and the breath go out. And if for any reason you feel that you don't like that movement down into the first knuckle of the thumb, come back to the tip of the thumb. Breathing in and breathing out. And then bring the tip of the finger deep into the root of the thumb. Breathing in, breathing out. Now relax the hands so that the palms open again. Breathing in, breathing out. When you feel ready to, let yourself lie down. If you want to stay sitting, feel free to stay sitting. It's entirely up to you. If you feel comfortable sitting, stay here for a moment longer. You can always come and lie down when you feel ready to. So whether sitting or lying, bring your awareness to your skin. The outer layer of the body, that sense of touch. Breathing in and breathing out. Let the skin soften. If the skin feels tight, what can you do to relax the skin? What can you do to soften the skin? Come in now to the layer of muscles underneath the skin. Just underneath the skin. Can you let this layer of muscles relax? Does that let you relax your shoulders a little bit more, soften the hips, etc.? Now move inwards again, into the closest muscles to the bones. And now come to the bones themselves, stacked on top of each other, connected to each other. Balance between the muscles and the bones. Not too tight, not too out of line. That finite balance. Like the balance between the mind and the body. Practice of yoga creates that union once more between the mind and the body. So we remind ourselves every cell is conscious. Every actually selling our body is awake. Send the ears out, hear the birds. You know, we choose what we want to hear. We can hear the sounds of life, hear the drills, or we can tune in to the sound of the bird song, breath in the body. We can bring our awareness to a different place. You're lying down now. Gently bring the arms over the head and stand away through the feet. So you lengthen the whole of the body. Feel the warmth of the sun on the skin. The warmth of the sun, the energy of the sun. And then let your hands come down the sides of your body and relax the body a little. Let the knees bend and bring the feet onto the ground and roll over onto your right side. And from here, bring your left hand down in front of your chest, lengthen away through your left leg, and use those as props as levers to bring you up to sit. In sitting, bring the hands together in Namaste and lengthen the arms up above the head. Feel that last lift upwards through the ribs and the releasing down into the tailbone. So if you're going to sit at a desk, feel that length through the spine and the connectedness in the base. As you breathe out, bring the spine forward once more, letting the pelvis roll over the thighs, bringing the hands onto the ground, feeling the connection back into the hips from the feet. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Let your thumbs rest onto your chest, onto your heart, to thank your body for its practice this morning. Have an amazing day. If you're at home, the weather's gorgeous. Maybe even if you can get out for a little walk. And Namaste. Pleasure. What a gorgeous morning. See you later, guys.